So like, I think this is a buy, right? Got open door trading up 6%. Celcuity up 250%. This is a PI3K drug. I'm trying to figure out why there's so much excitement, because PI3K is something that there are many PI3K drugs. So, and then Cardiff is tomorrow. Oh. We got to look at that. So let's look at Celcuity real quick. But yeah, Intel's up 30 bips. Tesla up 1%, Nvidia up a little bit as well. Plug Power, Marathon, Big Bear. Citi up a little bit, Bit Digital, AMD, Recursion up 2.5%, Tilray, Neo, Resolve AI, Palantir, Pony AI up 7%, Lucid up a little bit, Archer Aviation, QuantumScape down. Only one on my screen that's down. Maple Bear, Tron is trading up 6%. That's Justin Sun's company. Riot Labs up a little bit, and Rigetti, there we go, up 3%. At least one quantum's in there. Supermicro up 1.8%. That's the most actives. Brought to you by Godel. 28 million shares on Open Door, all the way down to 1 million shares on Supermicro. How about gainers? Well, Celcuity is the big one. There's another one as well. There's two kind of drug companies that are rocking and rolling this morning. So what are these guys all about? Well, stock's at 46 all of a sudden. This was kind of a never-do-well company, and now they're big time. So if I want the shares outstanding, I just go to Godel, CELC, equity, or space, CF, get the SEC filings. There's the latest 10K. There's the shares outstanding right on the first page, 37 million, and that is straight from the source. A lot of times, systems like Godel and Bloomberg don't actually have the right number, even though we're paid to have the right number. We're supposed to have the right number. There's just always a little bit of chance of error. So if you've ever been burned by an error, you go straight to the source. So many traders I talk to say, "Oh yeah, I just go to the SEC filing," and it's like, "Well, why don't you just use the system?" And it's like, well, it takes me a second longer, and I know it's right, which is kind of a nice advantage. Okay, so how much cash do these guys have? Call it 200 million, 1.5 billion enterprise value on the spot. I only got a little bit of debt, so call it 1.6. Would you pay 1.6 billion for this? Now, like I said, there's Picray. As I was talking to Godel, so this is Gedatolisib. This trial succeeded, extremely potent, an impressive result. Gedatolisib. But like I said, there are other PI3Ks and they're not exactly killing it. Let's look at Novartis real quick. Let's go to Picray, the last PI3K that I remember. And Picray, yeah, selling about 500 million, maybe 400. Let's see if there's a way to compare across the two. Yeah, I don't think Cardiff's going to make it. I think that's an easy call. But it's kind of like a lot of these. Well, PI3K, I mean, how many next-gen PI3Ks? Remember Gilead's PI3K? Anybody remember that? No, Cardiff's not going to work. I'm not sure, but we'll look at it today. We'll place a little bet. We're off to the races, right? This is going to be a good week. My big short report is dropping tomorrow. Looking forward to that. It's the end of the month. A lot of action in the market. A lot of things happening in AI. So Anthropic was in the middle of deal talks, from what I understand, at 100 billion valuation. And there's so much competition to lead this deal that we're at 150 billion valuation. Now, I've done a lot of deals in my life, but rarely does a deal price go up 50%. That is a Marlo Stanfield classic moment right there.
Tell you one thing.
What's that?
Enough of this shit. Got a problem from here on out? Bring it to me or sit on that shit. Those of you on the west side who need to re-up, holler at my man Monk. He gonna handle supply over there. On the east side, cheese. One more thing. Price of the brick going up. 30 more.
Price of the brick going up. That is what I have to say about that. So very positive for NVIDIA. You know, tons of capital out in AI. Still very exciting. Still supply constrained. Sam Altman talking about needing 100x more compute. Elon, the same thing. Elon's buying every GPU he can. GPT-5 could be coming any day now. I wonder if you're going to see possibly a Gemini response. You know, these AI companies like to jockey for position. So you could see ChatGPT, GPT-5 come out, and then who knows, maybe Google come over the top, over the top rope with their own little thing. You know, Google's been on the back foot for a long time, and they really need to just revamp their UI. I have a friend who left OpenAI to go to Google to really fix things, and he did okay, sort of developer relations. Okay, unprecedented median PFS. But the problem here is you're giving 3 drugs against 1. So you're doing your drug plus palbociclib, which is one of the best drugs ever made, and then fulvestrant as a baseline versus just fulvestrant. So that's, forgive me, Lord. Snickers, Twix, and Skittles versus just Skittles. And you're saying your Snickers is doing all the work when you also have Twix in there. Hard to tell. So hazard ratio was pretty amazing, 0.24, but still, I mean, 9.3 months PFS. I'm assuming these are pretty heavily pretreated patients since you have 2 months of PFS with fulvestrant. But let's look at the pick rate label, or so pickrate.com. I would not be short Palantir. Yeah, you read my mind, Ken. Ken, are you on Godel? Fucking better be. Fucking better be. Yeah, I don't understand the 3-drug comparison. You're really doing a trial of palbociclib versus fulvestrant. What's your name on there? Let me add you as a moderator. I'm not sure you don't care about being a moderator. Yeah, you just do triplet versus doublet. That's, the right way to do it. There's Pickray. It's been out a while. Oh, yeah, I remember, Ken. That's alpalysib. Just see if the results are in label. Yes, they are. So Pickray plus fulvestrant versus just fulvestrant. I mean, 11 months versus 6 months. This is in PI3K mutants. Let's see what the population was. No benefit in those who didn't have the mutation. Alright, so it looks like second line-ish for Pick Ray. PIK3 wild type. Oh. So not mutant? That doesn't make sense. That makes sense to you guys? So there was a doublet arm. No, I'm not. You know, I'm not saying the short gears are turning just yet, and they're off. Is the clock on Godel 3 seconds behind? Oh, I'm pissed. We're gonna have to fix that. Somebody's getting their pay docked. Immune is rallying. Perhaps they can figure out a way to spin their Alzheimer's drug. Get one more pump out of it. Our little Abivax is kind of cooled off. They raised a bunch of money. Let's see. Nvidia's up. I think Nvidia's going to 200, guys. I really do. Bubblicious territory. So many companies doing Bitcoin treasuries. It's absurd. Over $100 billion of Bitcoin treasuries. It's got to collapse. You know, there's just no way that you're going to see that kind of behavior just keep going forever and ever. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense. You know, raising money to buy some other asset on the public stock market takes money out of the, I guess, it puts more supply in the market, sort of reduces the demand with warrants and pricing the deal right. It's great for capital markets, for like banks doing secondaries and stuff, but this is a very dangerous thing. It's kind of like SPAC fever, you know, but SPAC with cancer and more cancer, like double metastases instead of single metastases. So it's like SPAC that's cancer is spread to the brain and the liver. So, you know, it's pretty bad. So I don't know. It's something that's really toxic and not going to end well, no matter what it looks like in the short term. And obviously we've got, you know, all these other ones as well, you know, like Quantum and so forth. So we'll see how it goes. So there was a doublet. There was a doublet with and without Palbo. So that was still remarkably good data. So like, I think this is a buy, right? You know, if you look at, this is PI3K mutants, and then the pick ray label, the pick ray label, they didn't have, no, Ken, I don't know that, you know, acquisitions are that snap. You know, they could go a year without being acquired, but that's okay. I mean, you don't need to be acquired to be valuable. I mean, Pharmacyclics didn't get acquired for a while, and it went up, you know, a huge amount. Alexion's the same. I mean, it doesn't have to be some, like, you know, wild Okay, let's see, 60%. Yeah, so the known mutation for pick rate was 0.85 hazard ratio versus 0.33 for this thing. I guess it's also an mTOR inhibitor, which might explain some of the efficacy, but I don't see how this drug isn't going to be taken. It's stock's looking a little wobbly, but it's something that is one second. Devs, do something! Yeah, so Celcuity, it's a pretty impressive drug. It's only a 1.5 billion market cap. So it's not bad. What was that Gilead PI3K? This is what ChatGPT is really good for. Yeah, Zydelig. I remember this thing. Alicopa. Because Alicopa. Copictra. The fuck? They're all for follicular lymphoma. There's Piqray. Piqray's 500 million and doesn't even work that great. So, could get more juice out of Celcuity.